If you were at Workbench Con this year, you did not see this fantastic DIY drill press fence that I made, with a flip stop that micro adjusts but still positions anywhere quickly, a low center for tight drilling close to the fence, and an adjustment on the flip for plywood underneath the workpiece. I worked like crazy to get this done in time for Workbench Con and brought it with me, but... And when I got to the hotel and took it out of the luggage, I found it had been broken. So no one at Workbench Con got to see it. And that's a bummer, but what can you do? Let's get the thing built first, and then I'll show you what I did about that break. It's probably pretty clear at this point that I'm making the half nut that engages the threads for the micro adjust but can also be pulled back to quickly position the flip stop. Some of you might not be confident in the wood threads, even though I'm using bloodwood, which is extremely hard. I'm quite confident in it. If you were making this, you could obviously do this piece out of metal. I'm showing this to a woodworking audience primarily, so it's a little bit more accessible this way, but definitely could do metal. Those little pieces got glued onto the flip stop to reinforce it where the plywood was going to be a bit too thin. I was being really careful with the fit of these two bushings I made out of pipe, because if they get too loose around the threaded rod, then the flip stop is going to wobble and not stay in place when you bump a workpiece into it. But what I should have done is started with a longer length of pipe, glued it into both sides, and then just cut the middle out. I kind of did this the long way, but took my time doing this sanding operation, snuck up on it, and ended up with a good tight fit. This is the assembly that lets you pull the half nut away from the threaded rod to move the flip stop. I ended up thinking that there was a better way to do this halfway through the build, and the break that happened in transit to Workbench Con actually gave me an excuse to rework this, so you'll see that at the end of the video. Those familiar with my channel might be asking why I'm showing people a cool DIY drill press fence when I developed and launched one that's out of the box ready through MagSwitch. The reason is that when we made that fence, we developed entirely new magnets with a post-machined mounting phase so that the fence would be exactly 90 degrees, and we're now selling those as standalone magnets for people who want to save some money and build their own fence but still like the magnets. I don't have plans for this fence yet, but I'm going to make some and charge probably about $7 for it. I think it's worth it. But if you buy 2 of these Gripright 150 magnets now with code DIYFence, then you'll get 10% off those magnets, and once I finish the fence plans, you'll get them for free. That offer will go away once I'm finished and the plans are selling. The magnets do come with machine screws that thread into the tapped holes on the mounting face, and I use 2 of these extra screws to make locating points so that I know where to drill holes in the fence. So I use those points to drill these holes, and didn't turn the camera on. Note to MagSwitch engineering team, maybe we should think about adding something similar in the future. So then after all that hard work, I throw it in a suitcase with 60 pounds of magnets and act surprised when it breaks. Not my smartest move, let's get it fixed. The actual broken side support is pretty easy to duplicate. The only challenging part is trying to get the screws out. I had to drill out the plugs and hammer a screwdriver in, but ended up working out just fine, and I got it off and replaced it. So now let's upgrade the quick release mechanism. So here it is, all fixed up and improved. I skipped a couple steps, but pretty simple getting it all back together. If you want to build this and you want the plans for free by buying the magnets with that code that I described earlier, there's some more details, everything you need to do in the description, so check that out. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.